my name is Lizzie and I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous bowling bag, complete with handles should you wish. So what you're getting are the three main dies. So you've got the main body bag, the gusset die and the zip panel die here. So those are all there for you. Then you've got full written and pictorial instructions and really comprehensive. And of course you'll have this video to follow. Now I go through exactly how the instructions have gone through step by step. So you'll be able to follow not only the written and pictorial instructions in here, but you'll be able to follow me making it as well, every single step of the way. So you'll be able to see how to put that zip panel in, going all the way around there. The gusset just starts here, so it's quite low down. So I'll show you that zip goes from right around here all the way around here. You'll also see that it's fully lined as well, so I'll show you how to put that lining in and make a really neat job of it. And so all of that will be included in the video from start to finish. So I really hope you enjoy making the bowling bag. So here I've got the two pieces of fabric for the back and front of the bag, the main piece, and I'm just folding those over and lining those up nicely, and I'm going to put the open edges of the die face down onto the fabric. And I like to tape mine in place so they don't wriggle as they go through the machine. It helps with the accuracy of the cut. And also I like to cut all my dies for fabric onto my metal plate. So we're just going to run that through the machine. Now with the zip panel, I've got my length of fabric ready. All of these have been stabilised and I'm using the zip panel die there. And I'm going to put this face down. That top edge will cut that neatly and then I'm going to fold the fabric underneath. Now I do like to put some tape down onto my die just to hold it in place while I'm folding that fabric. So the two prongs right at the bottom there, I'm going to fold my fabric so it's parallel across those two prongs. And then I'm just going to fold my fabric underneath. And there's two further prongs just below my tape there. I hope you can see that. And you just fold your fabric just where those prongs are, and again right up to the top there. And then of course this goes through your machine. And I just hold that last little piece there, that little corner piece there, with a piece of tape just to secure it so it doesn't wriggle. Now this is my zip. Now I'm following all the measurements in the instructions, and this needs to be 21 inches long. So I'm just going to use my paper scissors there to cut that zip to size. And then it's a case of making sure that all your other pieces are as accurate now as your zip. So 21 inches for the outside zip panel. Yep, that's fine. And then 21 inches for the lining. That's fine as well. So just make sure everything is measured correctly and everything is the right length according to the instructions. So this is the gusset that goes around the bottom of the bag, and that needs to be 22 inches long. And we've allowed an inch or two for you to adjust your gusset as you stitch. So now with the right side facing up, the zip with the right side facing up, and the main fabric with the right side facing down, we're making our zip sandwich. So just pin or clip or tack these three layers together to secure. Change the foot on your sewing machine to a zipper foot and just stitch from left to right or right to left, whichever you prefer, along the length of that zip to put all those three layers together beautifully. And then you would just repeat that for the other side. So once that's stitched, this is how it'll look. So with that completed, and I've just stay stitched at the ends there just to make sure my zip slider doesn't come flying off the end of the zip. That shows what it's going to look like. And you can top stitch that zip down if you like. So with the main bag there, just this is one of the sides, I've actually made some straps. And I'm just folding the fabric in half to find the middle. And it's just a case of measuring where you think these straps will go. Now, I found that the optimum size was actually 3.5 inches from that middle. So I looked at 4 and thought, no, I think that's too far apart. So I found that 3.5 for me was perfect. And of course you can line up the end of the straps parallel to that side, so they're at sort of like an angle, or you can stitch them in straight. And you'll see in a second how that's going to look. And again, that's entirely up to you. Maybe stitch them on, just a stay stitch on, and then see how they look to you. I think this is really a personal choice. And of course the length of your straps will depend on whether you want to have it just on your arm or whether you're going to put it around your shoulder. So right side facing down for the strap, so in other words right sides together there, either straight or parallel, and I decided parallel. I'm just clipping those on, and then with the front and the back of the bag I'm just going to stay stitch those straps in place just so they're secure and the pins or clips don't get in my way as I'm stitching. And there we are. So you're just going to repeat that for the back. So this is our zip panel, you can see there. And we're just going to join now the gusset to the zip panel. And right sides together. You can see this fabric's been stabilised. You can use foam or fleece. I thought it'd be easier for you to see with the stabiliser on. So I'm just going to stitch one end at this point because I've got that adjustability of the gusset. Although I'm going to put a clip in there to hold it, I'm not going to stitch one of those ends. I think you'll probably find you've got 1 inch, maybe 2 inches to play with that gusset, so just be aware of that. So now what we're going to do is attach the zip panel and the gusset to the bag on one side. So I found the middle of my zip panel, and you can see with the pin there that I found the middle of my bag front or back. And now I'm just going to pin those two together to secure. And then I'm just going to work my way around the bag, securing the pin, the zip panel and the gusset in place. So you'll see as you go how much you need to take off the gusset, and that's why I haven't stitched one of the ends. But you could equally take off 1/2 inch on both ends. I like the fact that you've got the adjustability because everybody stitches differently. So again, you're just going to follow your way round. And this is a nice deep curve, so there won't be any problems stitching this around. And there you can see how that join looks. It's about 3.5 to 3 3/4 inches from that corner there is where the end of the zip panel goes. So if you can get it equal both sides, it's going to look gorgeous. So with that straight edge of the gusset, just put a little clip in there and it helps you turn that corner as you stitch. Really, really easy to do, especially if you put a little clip in there. Just a little snip, not quite 1/4 inch. And make sure those bag handles are tucked well out of the way. So again, just as you come to that corner, you just need to put a little snip in. I'll just show you that again. And then you're just going to turn the corner around. And then when you come to the other side, you might find that you're now going to snip a little bit of your gusset away. And that's why I haven't joined the two together, because it gives me that versatility. So you can see now, look, about 1 inch is going to come off there. So I'll cut that, stitch that together, and then it'll be good to go. So that's all done. And now it's just a case of repeating that on the other side. But don't forget to open that zip. If you don't open the zip, you won't be able to turn your bag through. So just attach that side in exactly the same way as you did before. Tuck the handle in and pin it or clip it securely and then stitch. So now that's all done, you can see I've gone round both sides. Looks really neat, doesn't it? So just at this point you can turn it through and see what it looks like. You can see how the gusset looks at the end and the corners, and see how neat that is. So all you're going to do now is do exactly the same with your lining. So your lining gusset only goes as far as where your zip panel and your gusset meets. So you'll start off there and you'll work your way around. Again, you might have an inch or two to cut off so it fits nicely. So now I've stitched my lining pieces together with the gusset, and I'm ready now to attach the whole thing to my main bag. So with right sides together, so there's the right side of the bag, right side of the lining. You're now going to stitch those together. So find your middle again of your zip panel, find the middle again of your lining and pin those together. And you know then you've got it absolutely spot on. And then you're just going to work your way around both sides. And you're just going down as far as the end of your zip panel. You're just going to go into the corner there, just there. So that goes to there. And you're going to leave those ends open at the moment. And then you're going to repeat that on the other half and then on the other side. It's really easy to do. So all the way around to the other side. So I've joined the lining now to the main bag. I've gone right around that gorgeous curve at the top. What I have left are those outside pieces here, because I like to just hand stitch those, and I'll show you that when I turn it through. So I've done both sides, so both sides have been done. So that's the lining to the main bag. Obviously I've got my turning point here, so we'll pop it all through and see what it looks like. And like I say, I mean, you might want to machine those end pieces as well. See how you go. See how you go. You could top stitch them, hand stitch them, see if you can catch them in when you do the curves. So there we go. Let's just get the corners poked out. So obviously you've got corners on that gusset there. So that looks okay, doesn't it? Needs a good press, of course. Let's just do the zip up. There we go. Give it a shake. And that's good. That's good. That's good to go. I think you could pop a pocket on the front of that as well. I'm rather liking my pockets. So inside, I'll show you inside. Be the easiest way. So now there's the lining attached to the zipper panel, and at the ends here all I need to do is tuck that 1/4 inch over from the end of my gusset and just hand stitch that, or you could tuck it over and top stitch it. You can't quite catch it on that seam that joins the zip panel to the gusset, so you just need to fold that over. Like I say, you could just top stitch that with your machine right across, and you'd see it on the front, which is fine, or hand stitch it, whichever you prefer, and that finishes the bag off. And you just need to stitch that the little turning gap there. So again, I would either hand stitch that or pop it under the machine, whichever you prefer. It's always a personal choice, isn't it? You could even glue it if you wish. but I'm just going to give that a little iron and then pop it under the machine and stitch that together, and we're all good to go. So I'll go away, give that a good press, and I'll come back to you for a bit of show and tell. So this is how your bowling bag will look once you've completed it. Put the handles on. It's got a lovely, lovely long zip all the way round, and it's fully lined as well. You can see, oh, I've got my stuffing in there. You can see it's fully lined as well. And obviously you can add things to it, add some hardware to this. You could add a pocket to it if you want. But that is your bowling bag. So I hope you really enjoy making it.